Hello and welcome to my channel. This is going to be a fun little video of all the cars that I've owned. Yeah, I've owned a few, roughly about 21 in my driving years. I've been driving since I was 20 cars anyway. I drove motorbikes for a long time, but this is cars. So I hope you're going to enjoy this. Sit back. Some of them, the younger generation probably won't even know what they are, but I have titled them. But the older generation will go, oh yeah, I remember those. Yeah, well, hopefully anyway. So it starts with me looking very young in a Reliant Regal Mark 6. Yes, my first car. Drove it on the motorbike licence, this one. So it's quite interesting. So from there we go. When I get my machine to work, there we go. Right, so the next one is a standard 10. Now, this isn't the vehicle I owned. I had to obtain this picture. But it was a 1954 standard 10, same one. I believe it was in two-tone, I can't remember, grey, maybe two-tone grey or something like that. I can't, it's a long time ago I had this car. So yeah, it was a lovely little car. Oh, did it go? Yeah. But there you go. Quite fun to drive. The next one is this Vauxhall Victor, 1960. Now, I bought this on I just wanted a car. Now, I might explain that I worked in a garage. Back in these days, we're talking about the 60s. And I was a mechanic in the garage in those days. So getting cars wasn't that hard. So this was an ex-rep car. I forgot how many thousands of miles it had done. And to be honest with you, it wasn't in the best of condition. This obviously isn't the one. One of the wing mirrors fell off through rust. And the final, shall I say, nail in its coffin was that I was driving along Talpitts Lane going to work. I worked in Rickmansworth. And the rear springs went pop and come up in the boot. And I thought it felt strange. I got it to work, put it on the ramp and went, that's the end of that one then. So, yeah, it did me for a little while. So, and then we came to this beauty. Now again, this isn't the one I owned. I think mine was actually in grey and this fawn colour, not blue. But I had to find these pictures online. So, yeah, straight 6, Zephyr Zodiac. Used to drink petrol like it was going out of fashion. Yeah, very thirsty, but ooh, very nippy. Bench seats. Yeah, lovely. Lovely little vehicle. I enjoyed driving it for a while. And then we'll go on to the next one, which was another Ford that I had, which was this Consul Mark II. Again, not this vehicle. This is just another one I obtained. But yeah, another fun car to drive. The only trouble is I hit a patch of diesel on a corner and hit a lamppost. End of car. It was a car that had never had an accident in its life, hardly a scratch, from the chap I bought it off of. And when I bought it, oh, blimey, yeah, okay. It just was one of those cars then that liked being scratched, and yeah, well, what can I say? Yeah, that ended that one. So now we're going on to the next one, which is the first of my minis. 1974 Mini. Lovely little car this. I used to whip about, and you can see it's got mud tires on the front of it. Yeah, got those cheap. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I stuck those on it. And the front headlight was a bit rusty around the edge, as those minis used to rust something terrible, the early ones. But I had quite a good fun in that. It used to get me about all over the place. So yeah, lovely little car. So now we go on to my next one, which actually is another Mini. Now this Mini, that is not me driving it, that is a friend of mine who I bought it off of. It was originally his car. And that had an 1100 engine in it. We dropped a 1100 engine into that, and that used to go, oh, did it ever? Yeah, okay. But it was a nice car, nice little runabout. And actually there we're at, I think we're at Bournemouth, I can't remember now, it's such a long time ago, but I think it was Bournemouth, or was it Margate? No, it might have been Margate, that was, I think that was Margate, yeah. Now this, the London taxi cab, and my plane going over the top. So, yeah, a London taxi cab. Now that's a fun vehicle to drive. But the trouble is, don't pull into a station, because they all think you're a taxi and start piling in the back. I had to put locks on the inside of the doors, so people couldn't open them, because people were always climbing in thinking I was a taxi. But yeah, I drove that for a while. Had a Land Rover petrol engine in it that used to overheat. Well, the petrol used to overheat as the inlet pipe came up past the manifold, the exhaust manifold. And yeah, it was excuse me, it was it was fun to drive whilst I had it. But then, because it was very good, because you could put people in the back and you didn't have to talk to them, because there was a dividing window you could shut. Yeah, has its advantages, London taxi cabs. I say no more. This one, excuse me a minute, I just got to have a drink. And it's not coffee today, it's some other beverage, and it's not alcohol. Pepsi, and I'm not sponsored. This is an MG Magnet. Now the Magnet was on the lines of the Wolsey and the Cambridge, but this one I obtained from a friend of mine, and as you can see, it was a little bit rusty around the edges, but it was a fill gap between cars, so I needed something that was, and it was comfortable to drive, and it didn't have the Magnet engine in it. It had a Cambridge engine in it. So this only had a single carburetor and not a dual carburetor that the Magnet had. But it went okay. It lasted for a little while. Can't remember how long. But yeah, okay. And that was in the yard where I used to work for the Royal Mail Task Force, Ascot Road. This one, the Austin Maxi, again, just another car I needed to get. And by this time, I'm not in the garage anymore, so I have to buy these from reputable dealers or wherever. Again, the Austin Maxi. Not the best car I've ever had, and the most comfortablest car I've ever had, I must admit. I know people love them, but I must admit I didn't. So yeah, I was glad when I decided I would pass that on and get something a little bit more slightly more sporty, shall I say? Yeah, this one. The Seat Ibiza XSI. A little racing car. This car flew. Really did. And the only reason I sold it, it was either one before I killed myself in it, or I got nicked for speeding in the ruddy thing, because it just wanted to go. It really did. And it holds the record from West London to Watford. Yeah, incredible. Yeah, okay. Now you know why I got rid of it. That was all back roads as well, wasn't it? Main roads. This one, the Nissan Bluebird, I believe it came in other disguises as the Sunny as well. Again, I had a family by now, so we needed the bigger space and all that. So we had this. My my son, he liked driving in the car, but the trouble is he was travel sick. So this is in Eltham in southeast London, where my wife came from, and he would be travel sick in the car. Plastic bag, too much information, I know. But he would be out that car, go in the house, and he'd be sitting there eating a packet of crisps before I got out the car and got in there. Yeah, okay, kids. But yeah, I must admit, he's grown up a bit now and he's not travel sick anymore. First of my Fiestas. Now, I was working in West London. No, I was working in North London, just off of the bottom of the M1, Brent Cross. And I needed something reliable. So I was going to buy this brand new, but the rep said, well, why don't you lease hire? So I did. I was lease hiring. So this one was the first one I had. And this one, when it gets here, there we are. This was the second one I had. And then this one was obviously the third one I had. So yeah, all nice little cars. And this one replaced them. I got medically retired from work and I had some money, lump sum, so I went out and bought myself this car. Now this was the end of the line of this shape Almira, and it went to a newer shape. But I had this one for a few years, and sadly I had a little accident in it. Yes, I ran into the back of somebody. Hey ho, and rearranged the front end. So yeah, but this one was a stopgap again. So I got rid of the other one and I bought this. What a lovely little car. A nippy little car, not very big. I mean, it was small. It wouldn't suit me now for the amount of stuff I cart about doing photography, but it was ideal then. I think it cost me something like about £4,000. Lovely little car, and you couldn't lose it in a car park because it was yellow. Yeah, could always find your car in a car park. There wasn't many yellow ones about in those days. So now we move on to one of my favourite cars. And to be honest with you, I'd probably still have this if it had a decent sized boot on it. The only reason I sold this car was that the boot was disgusting, you know, Well, a Fiesta's got a bigger boot than one of those. All right, you've got the space going up, but no. It was a lovely car to drive, very comfortable. It was a Land Rover, Freelander too, so it was a good one, and it worked really well, and I really did enjoy driving it about. But again, size, I needed boot space, so I'm afraid it had to go. And people might be surprised what I traded it in for, but I traded it in for this, the Citroen C4 Picasso, my first Citroen I had ever owned. And again, lovely car. I really enjoyed it. It was an automatic, my first automatic, no, second, because the Freelander was automatic. But this was automatic, and yeah, it was a lovely car. I used to drive really well. Great, I loved it. So, then this was my car that I drive about at the moment, which you might have seen in one or two of my videos. So yeah, I've had it since 2019, and I really do like this car. It's comfortable to drive. I've driven from Abbots Langley to North Yorkshire without stopping, and that is not all motorway. I came off the motorway at about Duxford turning off the A1M, and went up the back roads. Well, it's something like about 4.5 hours driving time to get to our location, which was Pickering. But yeah, I really enjoy driving this car. It's a really nice car. Would I buy another one? Probably yes. It is diesel, very economical. Around town it's turning 40, 45 miles to the gallon. And out on a run it's in the high 50s. So I'm really pleased with that for the size of the vehicle. And as I say, it's very, very comfortable. The aircross part of it is the suspension. It's magic carpet ride. Yeah, well, that's a stretch of the imagination. But it has these dampers that work up and down. So it's got a double damper. So it damps it when it goes up, and it damps it coming down, so it's not thudding up and down so much. Well, it is quite a nice ride in it. So yeah. So there you go. That is my 21 cars, I believe. 20, 21, lost count. What do you think? Leave a comment. Did you ever drive any of these? Yeah. Yeah. There you go. So, thanks for watching. Hope you managed to make it to this end of the video without being too bored. And I'll see you on the next one. So, bye for now.